I remember my first kind of couple of weeks at university, and I think it can be really, really exciting and overwhelming at the same time. So you could start to read some sociological texts, and I would say read things that interest you. So if you're interested in economics, read stuff about the economy. If you're interested in sports, read sociology texts about sports. If you're interested in working with young people, read sociology texts about young people. So rather than giving you like specific books, I would say read things that are interesting you, because what we're going to teach you is how to think sociologically about everything that you see and you read, and how to really develop those skills and how they're transferable. So read specific theories that interest you. So I've mentioned a couple here, but there's loads of sociology theorists. So you might want to start with Goffman. That's quite actually probably an easy theorist to start with, or Marx perhaps if you're interested in class, or Elias or Bourdieu if you're interested in education. So there's lots of sociologist theorists, but I would actually say sociological theorists, but I would say start with a theorist rather than trying to cover everything. Read one which you think you could be interested in. And again, the same with methods. So don't try and get a research methods book and think, oh my God, I need to learn all of this. That's not the case. So think about what methods interest you. If you know that you like having one-to-one conversations with people, perhaps learn about interviews. There's so many different styles of interviews. So go and have a read on that. Perhaps you're the kind of person that likes to reflect on your own experiences and place them into that kind of social cultural context. You might find that actually books on autoethnography are useful for you. Or perhaps you want to think a little bit more creatively about the methods that you choose. So you might want to look at visual methods or something like photo voice. So what interests you, and start reading there. So don't buy a textbook, would be my advice, and try and read everything, but think about what am I interested in, like what gets me excited, and start reading that. So read, this is my tip for the whole 3 years, read, watch and listen. So you might read books, you might read newspapers, you might watch TV, watch YouTube, listen to podcasts, and start thinking sociologically about all those everyday things that you do and that you see. So I would really recommend getting a diary. Observe. So you might see things that you want to record, you might read things that you want to record that are particularly interesting, or you might have experiences or do things or try things that are particularly interesting to you. So record them, keep a diary about what you see and what you read, and include everything in it. So it doesn't have to just be a written diary, it could be an electronic diary if you wanted it to be, but include clippings from newspapers or receipts or photos or mind mapping. Whatever it is that kind of provokes reflection, start thinking about it. So the next thing I would say is reflect. And you can reflect in so many different ways. So for example, imagine we're thinking about a newspaper article. Who wrote the newspaper article? Who are they writing for? Who's their audience? How might that impact how they're portraying that particular data or that particular topic? Were they paid, for example, by a particular research company? Or is what they're saying socially or culturally specific? Or is it that experience transferable? How does it kind of compare to other things that you have read on the topic? Or how does it contradict other things that you've read on the topic? To what extent are you kind of convinced by the evidence that they're giving, and why or why not? Start to really reflect on what you see, what you read and what you listen to, and then just keep repeating that process. And that's what we're all going to be working on for the next 3 years. I promise you it's very exciting, and there's so many different ways that you can do it as well.